Hello and welcome to my channel Making Crafts, and welcome to the Crafty Meraki Hop. And today a group of card makers and friends, YouTube friends, we are all going to be showing you products from the new release from Crafty Meraki and be making cards and showing you some ideas of how to use these products. And so I've gone ahead and taken mine out of the package because the glare from the plastic, I really don't like that glare with my lights, and I want to be able to show you these. And this one I have gone ahead and took loose and tried it out because I was just too excited I couldn't wait. So, and I'll tell you more about that in a moment. But this one is a hot foil plate. And let's talk about the company first. The company's name is Crafty Meraki. Okay, so as you know, as you can tell, I have a southern accent, or I have some sort of accent. So I'm trying to pronounce that as best I can. So if I am totally off on that, I hope you'll forgive me. But it's Meraki, and it's roughly translated from Greek, means to do something with soul, creativity, or love, to put something of yourself into your work. And so I love that wording. I love the word Meraki for that. I love the meaning behind it. And so this is a craft company that is new to me, but they've got lots of great products. And so that in their shop that I see that I want even more. But these are really sturdy products. These look like they're going to be really good. I haven't tried this one or this one. I did sneak and try this one. So I have never had success using foil plates before, and that's because I'm new to it. I just received mine at Christmas, and I just have only tried one time, and I couldn't get the foiling to work. But as you will see in a few minutes, this one worked just perfect for me. So it was very easy to use. So that is, let me look for the name again. That one's called Crafty Confetti Hot Foil Plate. Now this one I haven't taken off and used. It is called Majestic Motive Hot Foil Plate, and I think that's going to be very pretty as well. And then this one is the Sweet Celebrations dies. Now these are not hot foils, even though they're kind of the same color. These are just dies, and it's going to make, well, it says here you can build your own cupcake, and it has two options. But honestly, I've been looking at this. There's way more than two options to build your cupcake. So there's all kinds of things that you could do with your cupcake. So I am going to be using mainly these two items today. I'll be using some hot foil with this one, and then we will be creating our cupcake and creating a card. So I'm going to start out first working with my ice cream piece. This is your solid piece, and then this is the deck, like the lines going through your ice cream. So I'm going to cut that out, but I want to create some pink paper for that. But instead of just using pink paper, I want to ink blend, and I'm going to use light pink and dark pink for this to get the look that I want for my icing. So I'm just starting out with the lighter pink first. I'm just working it around the entire piece of paper. And then I'm going to come back with my darker pink and just add it in, blend it in. I might have put a little bit too much in that spot, but that's okay. Then I'll come over to the other side and add some more. I want it to be kind of random around. I think it'll be prettier when we cut it out if it is. Okay. And the ink blending doesn't have to be perfect. When you're doing the die cutting like this, your paper does not have to be perfectly solid, because when you die cut it out, it's going to have a totally different look anyway. And I really don't want it to be solid. I want you to have some light and dark variations in the icing. So I've gone ahead and cut out 3 of the icings, and I'm just inking them with some light pink ink, just like I started with the paper. It's the same color. And then I'm just going to dry fit all of these pieces, because this is the first piece of icing that I've created. So I'm just going to dry fit all of the pieces that we cut out. And I forgot to mention when I showed you the product, when you pull out your product, the cardstock opens up as a folder, and there's all the information in there on how to piece all of this together. So it's really nice to have those instructions on how to do that. So once I've got those all 3 layered up, I'm going ahead and I cut out my little oval that is my cake piece, as well as my cupcake liner. And I've inked the cake piece with a light brown to make it look like, it's a cooked yellow cake mix. And then I've just inked around the cupcake liner to give it just a little bit more detail. So I'm just inking the cardstock with some blue ink, and so at the top of the cardstock you can see I've got a little darker and underneath a little lighter, so that when I cut out the swirls for the lollipop, then there'll be a little variation in the colors there as well. And then I've gone ahead and cut out the pieces for the flower, and in the inside piece of the flower I'm just inking that with some yellow, and I'm adding more ink to the larger piece and less to the smaller piece, just to once again add a little depth to it by having a little bit of different color. And then I'm lightly, just very lightly, inking the edges of the flower because I mainly want it to be white with just a little bit of pink, a hint of pink showing through. And I'm not even sure that you can see that part on camera. So it's time to layer up our cupcake, which I thought was so much fun to put this together. And there's so many options with this kit that you could put together, so many different cupcakes. So I'm sure there'll be more cupcakes in my future, but to get started on this, we'll just add a little ink to the, or this is how I did it. You may have a different way, but I just added a little bit of glue to the top of my cupcake liner and then attached that to my cupcake itself. And then before I add the bow, I did cut that out of some light pink paper, but I'm coming in with some darker pink and just adding that to the little topper that goes on top of your bow. And this little piece adds so much dimension to your bow, and you'll see in just a moment. And then I'm going to take the same color and just lightly ink around the edges of this bow, and just all of this is just adding a little bit more dimension so it doesn't look so flat and looks more real. And so you can see here, this little piece really makes that bow pop. It just adds so much more to this bow, and I love how they designed this bow. So I've just added that, and then once again I'm just going to take a little bit of the same ink and add it to the ribbon that goes across the cupcake liner, and then I'm just going to attach it to my cupcake liner. And I love this cupcake liner. I forgot to mention, when you cut it out, it leaves that impression, all those little ridges in your cupcake liner, just like a true cupcake liner is. So I thought that was really cool. And so there is the bow added to the top. So now I'm just going to add the layers of icing, and what I'm trying to do is angle it so that all of the tips meet right in the middle, so it looks like one big swirl of icing. And so I start out by just adding the glue to the bottom of the first two pieces so that I can attach them to the cupcake. And you can see here how the tips meet at the top. And then I'm going to add the third one on top, but I only added glue at the very bottom because I want to stick my little lollipop stick down behind the icing. So once I have the lollipop where I want it, then I'm just going to come back with a little bit of glue and glue down the top of that piece of icing to hold that lollipop stick in. And then I'm just attaching the flower to the left side, and then I'm coming back in with these little stars, and these stars are in the set, the die cut set as well. And so it's kind of like little star confetti, and so, or sprinkles, I guess that's just say sprinkles for a cupcake. And so I'm just adding those to the icing, and I think those really help the look of the cupcake. I did cut out two sets. I cut out a set of blue and a set of pink because I wasn't really sure which color I wanted on my cupcake, but I felt like with the icing, the blue popped a lot better. The pink would have just blended in. So here is our completed cupcake, and I think it's absolutely adorable. So it's time to move on to our background piece. So for the background, I'm going to be using the Crafty Confetti hot foil plate, and I am fairly new to hot foiling. I've had my machine probably, well, I got it for Christmas in like November, December. I ordered it myself for Christmas, but I don't know if I got it out of the box in December or January, and I've never really played with it. So this was a great opportunity to play with it, and I have to say, this was my first try with this hot foil plate and with this pink hot foil, and it worked out perfect first try. So I am really thrilled with this. So the foil plate worked wonderfully. And then here's a close-up of the cupcake as well before we layer the card up. So I've just cut everything down for an A2 size card, and I'm just going to layer a piece of light blue turquoise cardstock, and then I'm going to layer my Crafty Confetti background piece to the turquoise card, and then I'm adding the cupcake to the top of that. And I really love how this card turned out. I had so much fun creating it, and I hope that you have enjoyed watching me create this card, and I hope that you'll hop along to all of the other crafters today and check out what they'll be creating with the Crafty Meraki release.